Good morning and welcome to my channel. My name is Shoshana and I'm a guide to life. I help people navigate through the spiritual awakening and come out of their box into a fuller, more vibrant version of themselves. And this morning I want to talk a little bit about acting on surge of energies. So, yeah, act on your intuition. Act when you have an inspired moment where you have an idea and you feel inspired to move on it. Just act on it immediately. Take immediate action on that. You take advantage of that surge of energy because you can ride that energy. And what it will do is it will expand you. It will bring you a little bit out of your comfort zone, but you can ride that surge of energy and it'll bring you closer to your dream. Because when you have an intuition or you are inspired, you watch something and somebody says something that inspires you, that makes you feel vibrant and full of energy, then take some kind of action with that energy that you feel, with that surge of that intuition, that surge of energy, because it will begin to create movement in the direction that you want to take your life. When you act on um, take inspired action. When you act on inspired intuition, it is leading you towards your higher self, because your higher self is always in you and wanting to receive expression through you. And that is your intuition. When you start feeling the draws to certain places or people, it is always your inner self knowing that something in that situation has my expansion, will allow me to flower or flourish or come out of my box. And so when you have these intuitions, or when you have this all of a sudden, these aha moments, when you take one little step towards whatever it is that you are being drawn to, it will open up more steps for you. Whereas, and I can see it with myself, I can give an example on my own self. Whereas if you wait, if you sit and you say, okay, cool, I want to do that, and then you write it on a list somewhere, then it's less likely for those things to happen, because then you fall back into your old ways of thinking. You lose that inspiration. Your self-doubt starts coming in. Oh, can I really do that? Maybe. And when you get into a place of lower energy, where your stagnant energy, your stuckness, or your false beliefs or your limiting beliefs, then all of a sudden you don't see the glory in whatever it was, or you don't believe that something in you doesn't believe that that option is available for you. And so you start self-sabotaging yourself, and it's less likely that you will take movement, or it will become on those lists that you have, those infinite lists of one day when I have the time, one day when all of the planets align, and all of the planets align just here on the 28th of February. So that's the time. That's a sign. The planets aligned. It's time to get moving. It's time to change your life. It's time to start moving towards your dreams. There is no better time than right now. Your life is happening while you're making these lists and while you're doing the him hot things. And so I just want to encourage you to move on that. And I can tell you with myself, I've noticed with making these videos, when I have an inspired thought, like this video, for instance, it's not perfect setting. I'm sitting here with the window, and it's early morning. My son's getting ready for school, so I only have a few minutes to make this video. The sun is shining directly on my face, which I thought, okay, that's okay. At least I have lighting on my face. And I had just an inspired moment of this knowledge. Now, this has come up. This exact message has come up for me multiple times in the past. Move on, take action when it's like you beat on metal when it's hot. You don't wait for it to cool down, because you lose that momentum. Because when you have that surge of energy, that surge of inspired energy, you can take advantage of it to move yourself forward. It will pull you out of your comfort zone while you feel enabled to do it. And then that will start creating movement in the direction that you want in your life. And it will start moving you also out of your comfort zone, start changing things in your life, start mixing the things up. once you start mixing things up, the change is inevitable. It's like a cup of water with the coffee grounds at the bottom, and you stir it. I have coffee. Thank you for coffee. That is so good. See, inspired action. And I can tell you on myself that when I have inspiration to make one of these to talk about a specific subject and to make a video about it to share, and a lot of times I'm not in a setting where I can pull out the camera, or I think I'm not in a setting that I can pull out the camera, or I'm busy doing something else, and so I write it on a piece of paper and put it next to my computer or put it in my bag, and I have boxes and boxes of little notes of ideas. And a lot of times, when you allow that energy to pass and you don't take that inspired action, afterwards you come back to the little page that you wrote or whatever it is that you wrote, and you don't have that light in you, that surge. It's like when a wave comes, you can either catch the wave and surf it out until the very end, or you can decide, okay, I'll just get the next wave. And then you're waiting for that wave. But as life happens, it's always progressing. So this idea that came up now is relevant to now. It may not be relevant next week. So you have to start creating some kind of movement in order to create, action is what connects between your thought and the physical manifestation, right? Because you have a thought, and I'm sure that many of you have thought of ideas that are just like, wow, that's $1 million idea. I could just do that. And then you don't take action on it. And the physical manifestation, even though when you had that inspired thought, you could imagine it perfectly. You even could imagine how you would start to act on it. But without that action in between, taking inspired action in between the thought and the manifestation, the action is the glue. I've said this before, and that is such a profound understanding, that action is what binds your thought, the ethers, the invisible world, the grandness of everything. Action, energy, is what combines between that thought and the manifestation of it. So when you take inspired action on something, then it will begin to manifest into the physical form. But without taking that action and creating that connection between the two, this will not come into form. And not only will it not come into form, you will lose the connection, use it or lose it. You will use the connection to the grandness of whatever the thought was. And, or like yesterday, I can show you, I had all sorts of ideas that I wrote down. Trust your intuitions, your gift, trust your intuition. So I wanted to do a video yesterday about trusting your intuition. And your gifts want to be expressed through you. And that is such an important point. And I think I've done videos on probably both of these subjects in some way in the past because they're such important messages. But your gifts want to be expressed through you. So this is just an example. Trust in your gifts. Triggers. I did do a video about triggers yesterday. But there's so many ideas that come through, and if you don't act on them when you're inspired to act on them, first of all, you lose that. When you're inspired to something, it means that a portal opened and you have all of that information available to you in the moment. And if you don't act on it, you begin to lose the sense of it. It's like the portal gate starts closing on you. So I'm sending you guys so much love. If you would like to schedule a one-on-one session with me so that we can open up and kind of look at your life and see what you're going through and get some perspective, my contact information is below. You can contact me through my website or through Facebook or any other way that you feel that you can contact me. All of that information is below. So I'm sending you guys so much love. Thank you for watching.